All right, who did I select at pick 38 in my Barnes University draft class for the Tennessee Titans? None other than defensive back Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. So, explanation of the pick. Okay, the Titans picked Tavondre Sweat. We already got that video. We already got that video out. Go check it out. My explanation, my breakdown, my analysis of that pick. Why would I have selected Cooper DeJean? Was Tavondre Sweat there? Yes, he was there. He was one of my four players I would have selected in that range, along with Edgerrin Cooper. I thought Roman Wilson was a top 50 player. So, but the reason why I took Cooper DeJean was he was the highest graded player on my board, and versatility is a thing. So, with my number one pick, would have taken Roma Dunze. With this selection, Cooper DeJean, both versatile, can play. Oh, Dunze can play all three positions. At the wide receiver position, Cooper DeJean, I believe, can play outside corner, preferably in a zone scheme, predominantly a zone scheme. I think he can play nickel. I think he can play safety, both positions strong and free. And then he provides special teams ability, whether that be a gunner, whether that be a returner, specifically punt return. So he's just a player that can do a lot of things and brings a lot of value at that selection as a top 40 player. I don't bring too much of other people's analysis unless I really trust them. But it was, across many boards of being a high value pick. Coming off of an injury, understood, but one of the most valuable picks of the draft was him being taken in that range. The Eagles took him at pick 40. I would have taken him at pick 38. I understand the thinking of the Titans. They don't think that they address the defensive line enough, and the value of having a very different and unique player like Tavondre Sweat that can definitely do some crazy things on the interior of a defensive line that made sense for them. I thought about it as well. But if you pair my live drafts are usually what the Tennessee Titans have done regardless, and then just working off of what they've done. But I would have been much more comfortable given a guy like Grover Stewart or DJ Reader, or to a lesser scale, but I still did it. Eric Armstead, that type of money to bring the same type of effect to a defense. And it kind of reminds me of another theme that I may talk about in a separate video as well, is the aesthetics. So great opportunity to bring that in, because I think with the first two picks for what the Tennessee Titans did with JC Latham and Tavondre Sweat, it is what aesthetically, and by that word, I mean what it looks the part, right? Football is about the trenches. The Titans drafted a trench king with the number 7 pick in JC Latham. Then they drafted a trench monster with pick 38 in Tavondre Sweat. They both looked the part. One is 6'6", 342. The other one is 6'5", 366. Just unique skill sets, right? But my thing is, paired with a lot of other things, but my thing is a knockdown is a knockdown. A pancake is a pancake. A kick out block is a kick out block. A tackle for loss is a tackle for loss. A sack is a sack. It doesn't matter what the size of the player is that did it. It just matters if the act got executed. So when you look at it, this is the reality of who they picked. Over 700 plus pounds of just pure man, right? Reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Very unique players, can affect the game in different ways, but the act of what they have to do, their execution of any given play or any given statistic, is the same as if a 315-pound offensive tackle did it, or if a 320 or 330 defensive tackle did it. So you're really paying and you're literally banking on the effects of Tavondre Sweat being a 6'5", 366. You're literally banking on his length. You're literally banking on JC Latham's ability to be a power player. But that doesn't show up on a play-to-play basis always. So when I look at my selections like Roma Dunze and Cooper DeJean, these are players that, yes, the end result is the end result, but then you have the utility of both those players, and then you have the tangible effect. Unfortunately, you can't hand the ball off to J.C. Latham. You probably could to Devondre Sweat. You probably could even pass it to him. Probably even play him on offense. So that's kind of cool about the selection. But that's where I kind of get, and this is not me like trying to justify my selections by comparing it to them. It's just my mindset and my thinking paired with having a different offseason. Like I said, I would have paid DJ Reader or Grover Stewart as opposed to taking a. I don't want to say that Devondre Sweat is binary because I named several ways that you could use him. You could use him in the 4-3 as the other defensive tackle. You could use Devondre Sweat as the nose tackle. You could, obviously he can block kicks. You could get creative, put him on offense as a fullback, and have him catch passes or whatever. So there is some utility to the selection, but as I stated, I would have much preferred to pay on that end. Because it's just a function, right? It's doing a function, and then we all know the off-field stuff that goes with Sweat. But I've spent a lot of time talking about what the Titans did, but I think that is important. That's mainly what people want to hear anyway. I'm just an alternative. What were the alternatives? And I'm the person that says definitively who I would select, as opposed to others who, for whatever reason, don't get into this practice. They much rather say, oh, I had this 5 bucket list of players who I would have taken. I would have taken Sweat, Cooper, blah, blah, blah. It's okay to have a list, but you got to land on somebody definitive. And Cooper DeJean is my guy. The way that he clicks and close, short area quickness, ball skills. Only negatives I literally see is a little bit of hip stiffness and top end, like elite level speed, especially long speed. But just short area, burst, ball skills, football IQ. He'll come in and hit you. He has great vision in the return game, competitive. I think that, there's not much to dislike about Cooper DeJean as a football player in the way that he tangibly affects the game, whether it's getting great field position as a returner or on a return from a turnover. The way that he's smart and he's going to play with leverage within the defensive scheme. All that plays a part in, this selection. And that's who I would have selected at pick 38 with the given allotment of players. Stay tuned for the next one.